YouTube. Sorry I look terrible, just woke up, my hair's a mess. But got to get stuff done today. Been waiting for that valve tool to turn up. It turned up yesterday, obviously I was out. So today what I'm going to do is get working on a new head to put on Sleepy so we can get the map finally. I'm going to show you what I'm doing now. Right, so yeah, what I'm doing is currently, this was the EK9 head that I had off the B18. As you can see, it dropped a valve, hit the piston. If you look back further in my further videos, you'll see that obviously this head is trashed, but it's got some decent valves in it. And obviously this is the original head off of Sleepy, the one that the bottom end spat rod. So yeah, it's bent a single, or two valves, sorry. Is it this one? Is it this one? There we go. Sorry, my camera's the way my camera is. Yeah, as you can see, the valve is bent and bent. So what I'm going to do is change all four of them valves on this side, relap them in with the valves off of this head, and then give this head a good sort of clean up. And what else I'm going to do is, I had a couple of people ask me as well if I've ever done it. So what I am planning to do is take the inlet springs off here. Obviously you've got dual springs, haven't you? I'm going to put the dual springs on the exhaust side on this one, so that both sides have got dual springs, and see how it performs. See if it makes the head a bit better. But yeah, I mean, I heard people have done it. I looked up on it and read a few things about it. I haven't seen nothing bad, so the plan is to get that done. And then see how that performs. See if it would be a little bit better for a standard head. But yeah, this head's trash, complete trash. I'm just going to take the valves out of spare valves, give them a clean up, and then I said, take all this side out, and then this will just be a complete scrap head to throw away. But yeah, I'm going to get on that now, guys. I might do a little time lapse in between. Right, I've got all the valves and all the springs and retainers removed off the Type R head, the damaged one, and now I'm about to show you something on this one. Right, now I'm going to change out the bent valves. Obviously, them two are the bent ones, you probably can't see it. But, right, I purchased this tool last week. It's for the Hondas, for the valve removal. Bit of advice for everyone: if you haven't got one and you're building Hondas, it's probably the best tool you can buy. It's absolutely spot on, that is. I used another valve tool before, this one down here, when I first put Sleepy together. Wow, it took me hours. I've just taken apart a whole head in about 15 minutes. And now I'm going to take these two out. Obviously they're two bent ones. Replace them with some straight valves, lap them in. Obviously I've got a spring off here that I changed, or I nicked for another head. I think that head that's on the car now. So I'll put one of them on. I've got plenty of springs. I've got inlet springs, got exhaust springs, you know, I've got everything. So yeah, bit of advice: if you're building heads, that tool is the best you can get. Right, I'm trying to give you a demonstration, but it's a bit hard to hold the camera basically. If people ain't seen it, because obviously there are people out there who haven't seen it, and I'm sure 90% of you watching this video will have seen it. But for the people who ain't, obviously you've got the cup there, the bucket. That obviously sits in here. So that'll sit on top of the head, on top of the valve, sorry. And then obviously what you do is you screw this down, like so. And then it's got a little notch in the top. Obviously it goes on top of there, and that'll press the valve down, leaving you easy to get to the collets. But honestly, whoever invented that, you're an absolute genius, because that has saved God knows amount of time. Yeah, buzzing with it. Don't mind building heads again now for these. But before that, I used to get sick of getting in here, but this makes it a lot different. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is change them over, and then what I'm going to do on the exhaust side, as I said earlier on in the video, I don't know if you know that they're single springs. I'm going to put double springs in there, so that obviously they've got double springs both sides. and just, I don't know, it should perform a little bit better. Yeah, we'll see. Obviously I'm going to give the head a good clean up as well. As you see, there's old silicone and things like that. Got a blade to do that down there. I was going to do a time lapse, but I don't think I'm going to bother, guys. What I'll do is I'll just go bit by bit through the process to keep it as quick and as neat as possible. So yeah, you can see where the valves were leaking, and I've removed them. Yeah, bendy bend. So I've got a couple of nice valves over here, ready to be installed and lapped in. Out with the old in with new. I've got a couple of exhaust ones here, but they need a bit of cleaning up. So I'm just going to change the whole cylinder. And yeah, I mean, I'm not keen on the exhaust ones, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know if it's my eyes, but they look bent. But I don't think they are, but it's just me worrying. Yeah, I think they're all straight. I think it's just me worrying, being panicky. But yeah, you can clearly see the bent ones there. Look at the state of them. God. That was where the rod snapped on Sleepy's stock block. And the piston come up and obviously hit the inlet valves. I think the exhaust ones are alright. I'm going to change them out anyway, just to make sure. There's no other damage on the head other than that. So it just needs a bit of cleaning up. And yeah, once I've relapped these in and got all the springs and retainers on, I'm going to Dremel a bit of this out. As you can see, it's got wet, and yeah, once I've cleaned it out, it'll be fine. I'm going to Dremel it all out and make it all fresh again. So, and then the head should be ready to go and sleep in. Hopefully, no more problems with the oil. So, let me crack on. Right, so this is how we are getting on. Changed, these are the exhaust side. Obviously, you've got to give it a little clean up with the Dremel. Nothing great, just to get rid of all the soot and a little bit of rust that was in there. I've changed all of these up to, obviously, they're changed. This is the cylinder that the valves were bent on. This is the exhaust side. I'll tell you about that in a second, but basically, yeah, all the valves and springs on here now, springs and retainers, sorry, and they're doubled up. Here's the old ones down here, the old single ones. These have all got double springs now, so basically Type R springs. What it was, the head that was on the EK9, I didn't realise, Type R springs in it, springs and retainers. So yeah, so basically I didn't realise that, because as you know, when I first got my EK9, I wasn't really a Honda bod. I didn't sort of know what I was looking for and things like that. But anyway, I've learned that now. So I didn't have to use just like the inlet side double springs. I had actual exhaust double springs, so I've used them instead. So yeah, them ones are done. Third cylinder now. The exhaust valves that have come out turn out to be straight. As you can see, they are straight and they need a clean. So what I'm going to do is, instead of having to re-lap, obviously I will lap them in anyway, but obviously it's not as a bigger lap job, because they're the standard valves that come obviously in the standard head. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a clean up on the surface underneath, lap them all back in, and then yeah, once they're lapped back in, then obviously I'll put the last two double valve springs I've got on there, and I shall have a full head with double valve springs each side. So yeah, it should be a lot better. But yeah, hopefully get there within the next sort of hour. Been doing it a couple of hours now. But yeah, what is, I'm going to order a head gasket tomorrow, so I can get this car ready for the mapping, because I've been waiting for a while now, and to be honest with you, I've been lazing about, so been doing other things apart from cars. It's too cold. So yeah, let me crack on with this quickly, guys, and I'll show you the end product. Right, whew. Finally finished, and I'm covered in rubbish, as you can see. Took me a good few hours, but I think the head come up spot on, to be honest. I'm actually very happy with it. So here's how she's looking at the moment. Yeah, she's so all the valve springs have been done, double valve springs on exhaust and inlet, obviously standard on anyway, but now they've got the Type R springs on the exhaust as well. So yeah, that's all done, all put back together. All the valves were lapped in. Probably gonna get a blade on that and trim that off tomorrow. I ain't gonna bother about it today, because obviously I'm gonna get the other studs out the other head and fit them in as well, so that can be finished tomorrow. You see the lighting ain't great. Yeah, give the bottom a little run over for blocking the sandpaper. I said the head was fine anyway before that, no head gasket problems, so I was just to basically clean it up. Yeah, really happy with how she come out. As you can see, that was the cylinder that dropped the rod, and now obviously it's got new valves and all fully lapped in, properly sealed. So yeah, Sleepy's got another head ready to go on. Finally, and get rid of this little problem. So that's where we're at with the head. Oh, it's so heavy to move around. But yeah, I said I give the ports a little clean out there, not much, just a little to get the surface crap off. Yeah, that's cleaned up well, didn't she? So yeah, that's how she stands, and now she is ready to go on. So yeah. So yeah, I said I'm going to order a head gasket later on tonight, and hopefully that'll be here by sort of Wednesday time. I'm gonna try and whack it out sort of Thursday. See what the weather's saying this week. Maybe Wednesday, Thursday, or if I get a date on the head gasket coming the day before, I might strip the head off. And if I strip the head off, obviously, then it'll be a lot easier for me. I can take the head off. I've got some bits to take off that head, obviously for this head, all the sensors and things like that. And then be ready to fit a new head on, and hopefully that will stop all the problems. I'd imagine it did, because everything seems to be down to the head in that car. But yeah, I still got, I said, take the other head off and put the cams in here, and then do the valve lash adjustment on this. I don't think this is going to take much, because this was the original head the cams and everything come from, and I've never had a problem with it before, so I think it's going to be fine. So yeah, so that's where we're at. I think Lewis has got his clutch turn up tomorrow from H-Tune, and once he's got that clutch, then we can work on getting his engine in his car. Not been an update on this for a while. If you follow his Instagram, you see he's been putting up little snippets and things like that, but as far as the video on here, he ain't done much for the video on here. So I think within the next week we'll be over Lewis's, filming the engine going in and a few other little bits on the car. But yeah, just glad I got that head out of the way. Oh, and lapping valves, I hate that. It took ages, but to get it done properly, it's going to take time. You've got to make sure they're sealed properly, and obviously I ain't got a smoke detector to, smoke test to check if they're leaking or not. So I'll do the old light trick with the old coat over the head, pitch black room, put a light in the port, check, see around the valve, see if any lights coming through, and obviously no lights will come through on all the ones I lapped. So yeah, she's all ready. Yeah, that's about it for this, guys. Thank you for watching the video. As I said, plenty more content coming. Weather's going to start picking up soon, so there'll be a lot more content. Track opens, I believe, I think the 9th February it is, which is Run What You Brung. I won't be there, unfortunately. I'm busy on that weekend, but I should hopefully get there at some point in February. We'll do see what times we can run. So they've still got the slicks and that. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you for the continued support. One love.